Medieval times, the Victorian era, ancient Rome, it doesn't matter. Wherever you look, wherever you peer back to in history, odds are you're gonna find a few nasty inventions. Yeah. Were there any good in these gadgets? Let's find out. I'm your host, Taylor McWaters, and here are the top 10 concerning inventions in history we weren't taught about in school. Rightfully so. Some of them are pretty disgusting. Number 10, Burk and brauns radium chocolate. Yum. Hope we're eating right off the bat for this one. These delights were sold between 1931 to 1936, and these chocolates were praised for the effect that it had on its consumers. See, instead of getting a tummy ache after downing some Burk and brauns chocolate, you would feel rejuvenated, you would feel fresh. See, this chocolate was made in real radium water, so yeah, you're gonna feel something. Guaranteed. Looking back now at the details I just provided you, yeah, you can only imagine the horror stories that slowly began to spread over these new tasty treats. My New Year's resolution personally is no more chocolate, and this point right here is helping me out, so cool, no thanks. Next, number 9, the ducking stools. Oh, this one we thought we had something, really. There's the crane, then there's the ducking stool. Both. It was close. This was a punishment used in the 16th and 17th century England, and it was usually a punishment that was reserved for women because they were witches, right? Remember? Yeah. So dumb. This punishment was given to a woman for doing what was considered unwomanly things, whatever that was supposed to mean back then, you can only imagine. Apparently, this included things like having an argument with their husband, or fighting with the neighbors, or gossiping and or backstabbing. Ugh, God forbid. Classic Middle Ages. Hey, Margaret was gossiping around town, so let's all take the day off work and then go dunk her in the river with this new stool I created. Awesome. Basically, this punishment would see a woman being tied up to a stool or a chair and then dipped into a lake or stream over and over. It was actually, like, scientifically, it was miraculous, but it was a horrible purpose. This is actually a punishment method that didn't usually end up in death, but I mean, it was pretty bad still, right? Number 8, spray on hair. All right, shout out to all my bald kings out there. There we go. If you're watching this, hit that thumbs up. The babes are back. Yeah, that's what this real advertisement says about spray on hair. The babes are back. There we go. We can see them coming in just like that. They went somewhere and then babes returned because of the hair. Gotcha. Look, I'm 28 years old. I know a lot of guys have bad luck hair-wise at this age, and I'm not talking smack, okay? But spray on hair, it's not the solution, okay? Just buzz it, just bick it, just commit, all right? This early 1990s product did not work. It didn't sweep the nation. Men did not regain their youth for $39 plus shipping. No, it didn't happen. It just looked like spray painted cobwebs on your head. It looked like Halloween spooky cobwebs on top of your stupid head. The advertisement legitimately says the babes are back, which implies that said babes noticed his bald spot, decided as a group, had a meeting, you know, made it official that they had to leave, right? And then women decided that they loved bald guys. Then they came back because they saw the spray. No. I don't buy that. Women love bald guys, okay? Vin Diesel, The Rock, Patrick Stewart, are you kidding me? Professor X? Number 7, daylight motion pictures. I saw Avatar 2 last night, and I swear, hand to God, the lights stayed on for the first 5 minutes of the film. It was insane. It was chaos. People were yelling. Ushers were throwing their visors at the lights, trying to shut them off. It was chaos on Pandora, to say the least. You need complete darkness for a film, okay? Me personally, that's my preference. I can't watch anything in the light. But also for the projector's sake, right? We need to see the movie. We have to be able to actually see it. We have 46 lights around me, and you can see me. But back in the 1910s, daylight motion pictures were a thing for a hot minute, and it's as bad as it sounds. This trend moved across the country after a bill was passed, so theaters went from, you know, dark and enjoyable to bright enough so that you can see who's next to you. That was the whole point. See, it was a safety hazard for theaters to not have lights on because, you know, people around, not sure what's going on. If they bring that back today, I'm gonna be upset. I mean, the general public's starting to get all crazy again, so we'll see. Number 6, ab belts. All right, shout out to all my jacked kings out there with your 9-packs. Here we go. The perfect product for guys who want an 8-pack without doing any of the work. Here we go. Welcome to the ab belt. The ab belt sounds too good to be true, and well, that's because it was. Ab belts in the 90s were as hot as Tom Hanks was in the 90s. It was insane. Everybody loved this, right? I think we may have had one growing up. Now that I think about it, I was like, what is this thing? Or it could have been something I don't even want to know. Never mind. Science can't confirm that wearing an ab belt has zero benefit. No, it just shakes your, you just gotta go to the washroom after. That's it. If your company is thinking about making false claims, you should expect real lawsuits to follow. Yeah, that's why they all disappeared. You can't just say that and then nothing happens. No. Number 5, the walking sleeping bag. There we go. My brother sleepwalks. He's been sleepwalking his whole life. Where was this growing up? This would have caused a lot of more problems actually, now that I think about it. A sleeping bag, but with footholes and a head hole. But take this in, no holes for the arms. How fun is that? Yeah, just risking your life, I guess. Just legs and face. I can't think of a more dangerous product, actually. As somebody who's broken his front teeth twice before, I can say with confidence this is the worst product in history. One misstep and you're just watching your doom coming closer to your face, that's it. I mean, I get it. On paper, I get that's a cozy few minutes. Maybe it's funny, make your friends laugh. But what about when you can't find the zipper? Then what? Now you're trying to David Copperfield your way out of an escape bag of death while you're dozy too, while you're like half asleep. No way, no thanks. Number 4, Radiated Toys. Great for the family. Here we go. There's Monopoly, then there's this one right here. There's the Gilbert U238 Atomic Energy Lab set. The Gilbert U238 Atomic Energy Lab toy set sure looks fun upon first glance, I guess, but when the company released this toy kit back in 1950, it was all but games. Gilbert, who was a successful toy maker at the time, he was a businessman, even a magician. It's always cool. It's a triple threat right there. Always cool when you're a magician on the side. He believed that his line of work should be fun yet informative. Yeah, one of those nerds. He was nicknamed the man who saved Christmas, actually, after he convinced the US Council of National Defense to not ban toy purchases during World War I around the holiday season. So he's done some things. Real business guy. He really wanted to get this one out there. He was eager. This set was around $50, which back in the day was quite a lot. And the price was justified as the set was actually radioactive. Sorry, what? That's right, the Gilbert U238 Atomic Energy Lab set contained a cloud chamber where you can actually see real alpha particles traveling at a mere 12,000 miles a second. Yeah, imagine asking for a light bright, you open that, you're like, do we have the receipt? Might take this one back. Yeah, it's glowing and now I feel sick, so let's take it back. Number 3, the collar. This one looks really bad at first, but then the true punishment actually comes after the crime. Here we go. The collar. This is this heavy metal ring with spikes. Now, the collar is meant to sit on your neck and it's to prevent you from moving. Like at all. See, these spikes were adjustable, so more often than not, they would be tightened just until they're close to the neck, so that if and only when the victim moved, then it would pierce your skin. You've probably seen this in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's tucked into the collar, but now it's more than one. I don't know. You couldn't lay down, you couldn't sleep, obviously, and although you could eat, swallowing was tough. Any slight movement, and you're gonna feel a little poke. It's not nice. Whenever I see this, I always think of the Will Smith 1999 classic, Wild Wild West. Some scary neck situations going on in that film, that's for sure. Cinematic masterpiece, that one. So good. Will Smith, man, got slaps in the cinema, you know? Number 2, Spanish tickler. Yeah, its name sounds a little fun, dare I say a little, you know? The Spanish tickler is all but, yeah, it's also referred to as the cat's paw, which is a bit closer to its real purpose here. This Freddy Krueger looking thing was dragged down the victim's skin back in medieval times. Now, it was designed at that angle so that your flesh would be torn off of your bones and muscle easily. Yeah, the Middle Ages gave us an hourglass and they also gave us this. So, you know, take your pick. To make things even worse, the Spanish tickler would often be attached to a pole, so users could stand far away and just, you know, have at it. What a cheap way to harm somebody or punish someone back then, right? At least get close, you wimp. I included some horrible devices like this on our list because back then, in the Middle Ages, they thought they were fancy with these devices, right? Some dude's like, yes, my next gadget. He has like an hourglass and stuff, and then he's like, this one will change everything. And it's the Spanish tickler. You're like, guy, we need hydro. We don't need this. Get this out of here. And finally, number 1, the Pear of Anguish, also known as the mouth pear or the choke pear. Awesome. Don't those both sound so intriguing and fun? The mouth pear, the choke pear, it's so gross. Hey, I left my choke pear at your house. Chris, you mind bringing that to work tomorrow? I left my choke pear. Thanks, man. I need that for a staff party. This is one of the worst inventions ever, so I had to finish on it, right? I wish I didn't know about this, but I do, and now you have to as well. Hit that thumbs up for forced knowledge. When you click a video on the worst things from the Middle Ages or Rome, whatever, without getting too graphic here, on the one side, the pear side, that would go into your mouth. Or other places if you're creative, but we'll say the mouth for this one, right? Sure. And then on the other side, there's a screw, where if you turn said screw, that pear side begins to open up. It blooms like a flower almost. I say flower, this thing is not beautiful at all, it's haunting. It's one of those inventions where it avoids the loss of blood. So again, somebody thought they were onto something back in the day. They thought they were creative with this one. So this was a creative, horrible way to get somebody to talk without having them die. Which is insane, but it's also, I admit, it's kind of creative. Also, it's kind of hard to talk when there's a choke pear in your mouth, so someone's got to figure that out. These were also used to just prevent somebody from talking entirely, right? It was, again, creative. What's the worst medieval invention of all times? Comment down below. I want to do a whole list on just that, and who made that and who's responsible for that one. Here we go. I've been your host, Taylor McWaters. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Most Amazing Top 10 Spirit Fingers. See you later.